So before I get into this podcast, what do you guys want to see more? Ronda Rousey versus Chris Cyborg or Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano? Because the rumor is speculating that there is a fight brewing between Gina Carano versus Ronda Rousey. Could it be because Ronda Rousey is not pulling in the numbers that they thought they would? Or is it because Gina Carano is the next person? And it's funny, Gina Carano is the person. She lost her last fight in 2007 or 2008, whenever the last time she fought, and she lost to the fighter that everybody wants to see fight Ronda Rousey, which is Chris Cyborg. So, and Gina Carano has always failed at making weight and has only fought at 135 one time. So, what do you guys make of this whole story? What do you guys think of Gina Carano versus Ronda Rousey? They basically are stating that Joe Rogan went on this radio program in Los Angeles talking about they probably will be signing Gina Carano to basically fight Ronda Rousey. And Gina Carano hasn't fought since she lost to Cyborg in like 2008, 2009. Is this a joke fight? Do you guys want to see this fight? Do you guys think it's an exciting fight? For me, I think it's one of those boring fights because Ronda Rousey is going to stomp her. Even though Gina Carano was a top contender, was a champion, was in the same footsteps that Ronda Rousey is right now, was dominating, and she lost to Gina Carano lost to Cyborg, and then basically retired from mixed martial arts to do movies and act. And my thing is, guys, do you really think this is a great aspect for the UFC to go? Because look at it this way. It's like James Toney coming in and fighting Randy Couture. When he came in and fought Randy Couture, you knew Randy Couture wasn't going to stand in vain with a professional boxer. It's like you take Chris Weidman or some guy in MMA that's a high-level grappler. Let's say John Fitch versus Mike Tyson. You think he's going to stand and bang with Mike Tyson? Hell no. So he takes you to the ground and wins that fight. So I see it the same way. Gina Carano was a badass like 5-6 years ago. And if she hasn't really been, I don't think she's probably still training at top-level contendership. Even though you were a top-level fighter 5 or 6 years ago, and you're doing movies, and you're not going into the MMA gym and training like a professional fighter. There's a difference between going into an MMA gym and training just like a 2-hour training class, or like what my buddies used to do. They'd go in, do like their jiu-jitsu class, and they would be done. That's not training to be an elite level fighter like Ronda Rousey. And Ronda Rousey's been stomping people's face. And Ronda Rousey is what, 9-0, all winning by armbar besides her last fight, which was a knockout. I think Gina Carano has no business being in the cage. Even if she does decide to come back, is this a one-time only deal? If she wins the title, she stays. If she loses the title, she's not going to stay? Or is it one of those things Gina Carano's just doing it for the paycheck? You go in there, maybe try to put on an exciting fight, get beat down, and then that's it. But Gina Carano was a badass, like I said, back in like Strikeforce, Elite XC. That was when women's MMA wasn't big, and no one really cared about it. You might have a few fights here and there, and now women's MMA is so big and so popular that I really think Gina Carano doesn't deserve a title shot. It's like those freak show fights when you had Anderson Silva go up there and fight Forrest Griffin. Forrest Griffin just looked outclassed. It's just the same thing when James Toney fought. Like I said, he got beat down, but I know hardcore MMA fans who know who Gina Carano is will buy the pay-per-view, will love it. It will make the UFC a lot of money. But I don't think the casual fan knows who Gina Carano is. They might have seen her in a movie here and there and be like, why is a movie actress fighting in a cage? That's what they're going to say. But Gina Carano back in the day was a very well-rounded fighter, had very great stand-up. She was a Muay Thai women's champion, if I'm not mistaken. And if it was the Gina Carano of 2008, if you guys remember her, versus Ronda Rousey of 2014, that shit would be a barn burner. Ronda Rousey would have a hell of a fight on her hands. Yes, Gina Carano has better stand-up, and Ronda Rousey has the judo that can take Gina down and defend her stand-up. And that's what would happen. You'd have Ronda Rousey running in there, throwing some bombs, grab Gina Carano, throw her to the ground, and try to win by armbar, because she wouldn't want to stand and bang with Gina. And Gina Carano is one of those fighters. She's kind of like an Anderson Silva of the women's division back in the day. Her stand-up was that crisp and clean, and she used to train with Randy Couture, so you know the chick is a beast. But do I want to see the fight? Yeah, I think the fight would be okay, but not now, because she hasn't fought in 5 years. It's like telling you you have like Kurt Angle or something come in and do MMA. He's already past his prime. That shit will never happen. Even if it did happen, it's like, wow. It's like when people say, "Well, I still want to see Anderson Silva GSP." That won't happen, because Anderson Silva is not the same Anderson Silva that fought Rich Franklin in 2007. So with that being said, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you want to see Gina Carano versus Ronda Rousey for a title? I don't think it should be a title fight. I don't think Gina Carano deserves a title shot. But this is speculating that this fight is going to happen, because Joe Rogan said something in the women's division in the UFC is going to change the game. And a lot of people are speculating this is Gina Carano coming in there to fight for the title. I don't want to see it for a title. Maybe if it was just like a competitive one-on-one fight for not a title, and Gina Carano just went in there and fought, like, say, Sarah McMahon or Misha Tate, and see if she can even hang and bang with those chicks, then maybe you can say, yeah, she deserves a title shot, because if she hasn't fought in 5 years, I just think the girl's going to get beat up and beat up and beat down. So with that being said, guys, thanks for watching another MMA Breakdown podcast. And sorry, this is just audio. I'm just doing it over Google Plus on another channel. And I'll definitely talk to you guys next time. But in 2014, I don't really care about this fight. But if it was Gina Carano, if Gina Carano has still been training her ass off like she was in 2008 at a high level, there's a difference between training at a high level and actually competing in MMA. But I'll see you guys soon. Remember to rate.